Hello, what's up everybody? Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're already a subscriber. I love it that you come back to me. Thank you for your support. It is a wonderful day today. The sun is out finally here in the Netherlands. And first of all, I would like to take this opportunity to send you love and blessings. Okay? It's a chaotic time. I wish you inner peace in these chaotic times. And second of all, before I will jump into this video, I would like to remind you that we are protected. We are protected by the earth. We are protected by the universe. And the second reminder is be aware of the energy that you send out. There's a little reminder here as well. Be aware of the energy that you send out. I can only receive loving intentions. I am protected against everything that could harm me, so nothing can harm me. All the bad energies that will send to me will not reach me and will reflect back at the sender. All the love that I receive, I will also send back. So there's this lovely reminder to be aware of your intentions and the energies that you send towards another person. So, having said that, the space is cleared. My feet are on the ground. I have put on some calm music again, because to be honest, I was recording this video just now, and I had other type of music, a live stream, and maybe you can still hear it a little bit in my voice. It was a bit neurotic, and I'm high sensitive, and I was like, why is this? I feel so. I was just saying it in English. A little bit of short of breath, but that's also because I'm pregnant, so all my organs are being pushed higher up. Well, let me put this so you can see it. And this is a very cool earring. Justitia, justice, the scales, and a sword. And here I have my name necklace, and a turquoise and a clear crystal. I'm feeling the Empress energy today. It's my number 3. Olga, get back to the topic. This video, Gemini alert. This video is a VR. I think it's my first VR. A video response to Kasia from Tarotmap, and indirectly also to my sister Saturnarian. I saw this tarot tag, these prompts on both of their channels, and I figured let me jump on it. So basically a tarot tag or a VR is a response to, in this case, the tarot community, so we can connect with each other. And if you're not in the tarot community, it can be interesting if you are interested in the tarot, if you're a tarot newbie, or if you're a client of mine. Yeah, to have a look at behind the scenes, in a sense, to see what type of decks that I work with. So there are 3 prompts. And I cheated a little bit because I'm going to share 5 decks. So the first prompt is also the name of this tag, Hello Again. And Kasia, by the way, I will put the links of both Kasia's and Saturnarians channel below. So the first prompt, Hello Again, Kasia wrote, show us an old deck that you fell in love with and started using again. I picked 2 because, first of all, me, I think for most of give myself a second here. I am sure that it's my lungs, my organs. I'm speaking a bit fast. I think most of all because I don't want to make a too long video, but I remind myself again to slow down. It's getting a life motto almost, slow down. I speak about this all the time. Show us an old deck that you fell in love with and started using again. I chose one that I use for my personal readings, and I chose a second one because I chose that for my client readings. So the first one is, I forgot a subtopic, but it's not important. The deck that I've fell in love with again, or that I started using again, is a deck that I now own for 4 years, I think. It's one of my oldest decks. So the first year that I studied tarot, or first year and a half that I studied tarot, I only studied the Thoth deck. I first wanted to really get to know that system, and it almost felt like cheating when I would buy a new deck. But then I bought a new deck. I can't remember what the second one was, but this is one of the first that I started buying when I started to, you could say, collecting decks. I have around 20 decks, so I'm not a huge tarot collector, but I have quite some decks. It depends from what type of perspective you know, look at it. The Wildwood Tarot. I modified it. I cut the borders of, and I edged it. The reason why I got back to this deck is because there is this fall autumn vibe in the air. And it's funny because this deck follows the Wheel of the Year system, which is basically the there's a lot to say about the Wheel of the Year, but it comes down to that the Wheel of the Year is sort of a lifestyle, spirituality, if you will, from pagan times, so pre-Christian times. In pre-Christian times, Europeans lived in a deeper connection with nature and the seasons and the wisdom of nature, and I feel very connected to that. And even though, and that's why I said it's funny, even though the fact that it is about the Wheel of the Year and the seasons and the symbolism and the wisdom that comes with it, I tend to grab this deck around fall time. Now we are getting into fall time, but this summer wasn't really a summer. Apparently, statistically, it's not the worst summer that we had in the Netherlands, but I don't know. To me, it feels like it was, and it has nothing to do per se with the pandemic and stuff. I'm really talking about the weather. It's been pretty cold. I live at the coast of the Netherlands, and we've only been to the beach twice. On my birthday, June 8th, we went to the beach. That was really a blessing. But even then, I haven't swam in the sea once this year, because there was never a day. Maybe there was a day when I was working, but still, normally I don't even know how many times I go, you know, because I can bike there. It's very close by. So back to the topic, fall. I tend to pull this out with fall, but now even the summer feels like fall. And then there's another thing. I am working on writing workshops that I'm planning to give with the wheel of the year, because I want to share the information. I want to share the possibilities that we have to reconnect. Well, European people or people that live, that maybe have different roots, but that are living in Europe now. I want, oh, my mind is so swift. In general, worldwide, I would love to have the influence in people, not in a forceful way, but to have the influence in people's lives for them to be inspired and motivated to remember their connection to nature. And I believe that cultures come from nature. That is why universally in the whole world, all cultures have things in common and have different aspects, because nature is nature, but the nature here in Europe is different than the nature in different continents. So I want the people here that live in the Netherlands, to that live in Europe, to be able to connect with our nature. Our nature, but also our nature. Because it gives us a sense of meaning, a sense of safety. When you speak about cyclical movements of the universe, that is a bigger perspective. It also gives us knowledge about medicine, so it's good for our health. We can understand ourselves better, our behavior better. It's so deep, it's so wonderful, it's so rich. I love it, I love it, I love it. And that's why I want to share it with people. This is a bit off topic, but the funny thing is that the seasons aren't the seasons anymore. So I'm going to find a way in which I can keep it authentic and respectful and real. Bring back old traditions. And in honoring that, also connected to where we live now, because the seasons aren't the seasons anymore. That was off topic, but at the same time it's not, because this deck has this vibe. And I also want to give a shout out to what's her name, tarot lady, astral tarot lady. She's also Dutch. She spoke about this deck, and she said that she doesn't like the artwork, and she doesn't like this, and she doesn't like that, but she loves the deck. And I found it so funny. But here it comes what I wanted to share now. She explained this deck as a feeling that is just like sitting inside cozy on a rainy day with a cup of tea and candlelights on, and I can completely resonate with that, because I have that same feeling. I spoke about this card in my previous video, by the way. I have that same feeling. It gives this cozy vibe. I think it's because of the color scheme. So even though it is about the whole year, all the seasons, yeah, most of the cards still give an autumny vibe. What else can I say about it? So all the court cards are animals. So it's interesting to dive deeper into the meaning of spirit animals. It's not a traditional system, like I said. But it reconnects us with our original spirituality as Europeans, and with our connection to nature as a whole. Then the other deck that I got back to, that I own, I think I bought this in the same time that I bought the Wildwood. It's also one of the first decks that I bought after I started buying other decks. Then I thought, It's the Golden Dawn Tarot. So it has a similar background as the Thoth, but it's also, it's a bit of a combination between Thoth and Rider-Waite, as you can see. Like the aces have the hands and the clouds. And I grabbed this deck because my business has been growing, and I do more readings professionally for clients now on the spiritual hotline. If you're in the Netherlands, check out the description box below, because I will link the websites where you can give me a call to have a spiritual chat, or to have a tarot reading through the phone. And if you want a video reading, where you can see the cards, where you can see me, you can check that out on my website. I sell them on, you can book them on my website. I use this deck, I tend to use this deck because, well, first of all, there are only people in it instead of animals. Well, you see animals, but they're alongside humans. It communicates the energy very straightforward. Sometimes it's a bit exaggerative, but that makes it so clear. It is rich in its symbolism, but at the same time, and that's why I said it's, no, that's not correct what I want to say. So it's very atmospheric, you say it in English, it's fearful. So it communicates emotions, it communicates elements, it communicates personalities, which is a big one. So it really gives me information about the emotions and the thoughts of my clients, or about third parties that they want information about. I'll speed this video up a little bit. What else can I say? I think that's really it. Clear communication. And it's very cute. Look, this card made me buy this deck, by the way. I was like, oh my gosh, this outfit is so cute, so sexy. I love it. Yeah, let me stick to that. So, moving on to prompt 2. Kasia called it Getting to Know You Better. And she wrote, show us a deck that you have been working on already and is still around you. A deck that you are getting to know better. And when she started talking about her choice for the second prompt, she mentioned that it's about a new deck that you have been working on, that you have been working with, but you're in a stage where you're diving deeper into it. And the first one that I thought of was my Druid's Plant Oracle. And this introduction is quite similar. The introduction that I can give about this deck is quite similar as the one that I gave about the Wildwood Tarot, because also this one is about, well, Druidism, paganism, pre-Christian, European, spirituality, lifestyle, connection with nature, and her wisdom and her symbolism. This deck has been on my wish list for several years. I have it for 2 or 3 months. I think 3 months now. I have been modifying it. I've been edging it, but I'm not finished yet. Normally I start and I finish it, but I don't know, with this one I suddenly stopped, and after that I've been using it again. And yeah, I noticed it this many times already. As a little girl, I was already very consciously connected with nature. That's because of my soul and awareness, self-awareness. I was quite early in my life I was self-aware. I have very young memories when I was very little. And besides that, my parents really motivated this, because almost every Sunday we went to the forest. It was almost as if we didn't go to church, but we went to the forest. And it's not that they communicated this, that we do that instead of going to church. It wasn't that they were communicating, look how beautiful this is. It wasn't as if they were communicating the spiritual aspect of nature, but I felt it. And later on, I discovered, or I prefer to say, I remembered the spiritual connection that I have, that we as people have with nature, if you're open to it and if you're conscious of it. So this deck I have been working with for myself. I haven't been working with it for clients yet, and that's simply because I need to study it more. There are plants in it, obviously, that I know of. There are plants that are new to me. This one I really like. I like all of them, by the way. But these are, it's funny because these are plants that I do know. It's, what's it called in English again? Hawthorn and elderberry and birch. And I've been harvesting elderberry and hawthorn for a couple of years to use medicinally. And birch, by the way. But now I learned that in this deck they call it the guardians. So, and ferns, oh my gosh. Ancient wisdom right here. Clover, I have been harvesting for several years as well. Same reason, medicinal. So now that I'm pregnant, I really miss working with my herbs, by the way, because a lot of them, using them, it's too strong. It can be dangerous for my baby. So I miss that. Maybe that's the reason why I haven't been working that much with it yet. So the book, let me stick to the topic and speed it up a little bit again. So the book gives you information about the history of the usage of the herbs and the little pieces of mythology, you could say, the symbolism and the usage, yeah, medicine wise. And it gives the original names, Druid names. So that's, beg your pardon, that's the Druid Plant Oracle. And another one that I wanted to share is the one that I started working with more. I bought it, can't remember when I purchased it. I think I have it in another video, the Pagan Catsterol. And this deck really surprised me in a positive way, because there's so much more to it than I expected. It's the mini version. This is the only mini version that I have. And it's so nice to shuffle, because I have small hands. What is this one? Ace of Pentacles. Yes. Getting this coin, keeping this good health. It really surprised me in a positive way, because I initially bought it because it's super cute, because I'm a crazy cat lady. I think my cat is laying here behind me. And I'm into paganism, which I explained with the other decks just now. It is Rider-Waite based. I don't have a Rider-Waite deck yet, so in that sense it's interesting for me to dive deeper into that. Yeah, I never tend to take the obvious route. The Rider-Waite, I will buy a Rider-Waite deck one time, but I haven't yet, because it's so popular or something. I don't know, it's not really my style, but I do have books about the Rider-Waite, and I really appreciate the symbolism. So yeah, I really like how you can use it. But so this deck is unique in the sense that the images, well, are unique, but the symbolism is a copy of the Rider-Waite. And there's so much more to it symbolically than I expected. So there's the traditional meaning, there are addings to it. The creator added his or her there, yeah, 2 women, Magdalena Messina, and the artwork is by Lola Eragi. So it's really, I'd say, inspired by. I also have another cat tarot deck, that's the Tarot of the Cat People, and that's not very deep. I haven't been working a lot with that because of that reason. But this one you can really use in a traditional way. In that sense, it's if you have knowledge about the traditional symbolism, it's very straightforward. But at the same time, it also gives room for intuitive readings, because the expression of the traditional meanings is so unique. Like, for example, this is the Fool. You see, there are elements that are very traditional, but at the same time, it's not a direct copy of the original Rider-Waite Fool card at all. Here's another good example. And it's just super cute. So I like to use this one for both my clients as for myself. Oop. And then the last prompt is called Pleased to Meet You. Kasia wrote, show us a new arrival or a deck you haven't had a chance to work with yet. And that is this deck that I'm very happy with. I received this 2 days ago, the Enchanted Love Tarot. I purchased this deck especially for my clients. Now that I've been doing this work for a little while, I noticed that a lot of people have questions about love. And as you know, I use tarot more as a healing tool and a self-discovery and evolving tool and development tool, and a study tool for symbolism as inspiration that I use for my art and stuff. But most clients are interested in answers about their love life. And so I'm going to talk about this deck more in another separate video that I think I will record today. Yeah, so I'll put the link here. I always forget which side it is, here or here, and in the description box below, so check that video out. I really love it. I really love it. So this is a new deck, but I'm very excited about. It's also better than I expected. I want to give a shout out to Bella Ducati. It's one of my other favorite tarot channels that she's not really connected with the tarot community, I think, because I never see somebody talk about her, but look her up. And she has been using this deck for years. And well, I will talk about this in the other video. So thank you so much for watching. If you're in the tarot community, jump on this tag as well if you like. Show us your decks. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Peace, love, and blessings. Bye.